Objective 4. Select a simple random sample. When a study makes use of a sample, it is important that the sample represents the population well. Otherwise, any inferences that are made will be meaningless. To help researchers obtain a sample that represents the population well, they tend to use a simple random sampling to obtain their sample. A process of selecting a sample of size n is simple random sampling if every sample of size n has the same chance of being chosen. A sample selected by such a process is called a simple random sample. If we allow an individual to be selected more than once, then we are sampling with replacement. If we do not allow an individual to be selected more than once, then we are sampling without replacement. Now, when using a TI-8384 calculator, the procedure to obtain a simple random sample from a population instructions are the following. We construct a frame by getting a list of individuals in the population and numbering each person. We're going to set the seed by entering any non-zero number by pressing the store button, then the arrow key, and then the math, and then we're going to scroll the probability and then select 1 and then random and press enter. So I'm going to show you that on a calculator here. So let's see here. So in step number 1, okay, so I'm going to do the following. Okay, so I'm going to put in a number. So let's say that a seed's going to be given. So if we have a seed of, let's say, 25, okay, and then you see the store button here, I'm going to select the store button. And then I'm going to go to the math section, and then I'm going to scroll all the way over to the probability, and then number 1 is R and. So you're going to press enter, and then what's going to happen is it's going to come into the screen, and then there's your cursor, and you're going to hit enter because it's storing the seed at 25. Now the next step is that we want to obtain the simple random sample. We're going to press math again and then select probability and then select number 5, which is RANDINT. So at this point you have 2 options. And what those options are is that if you have enter RANINT with 3 values, this will give you n numbers at a time. If you only enter 2 values, this will give you 1 number at a time. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and go to math, and then I'm going to select probability, and I'm going to scroll down to number 5. And then I'm going to put in, let's say, 1 through, let's say, 10. So it's numbers 1 through 10. And then I'm going to select, let's say, the second individual. So it's going to give me a grouping of 2, 7, and 4. Now, if I wanted to then just go ahead and then choose the probability, again, going back to RANDINT, if I want to then just select 1 at a time, then I would put in 1 through 10, it's going to give me 1 number. So if I use 3 numbers in here, again, it's going to give me more than 1 number depending on what I want to choose from. Whereas if I just put in 2 numbers, it's going to give me 1 at a time, which gave me the first number here. Now, an example. Let's consider our class as a population. We want to obtain a simple random sample of size 5 and then list the individuals in the sample below. And then we're going to set the seed to 58. So we're going to consider our class to be 30 students. And so we want to obtain a simple random sample of size 5 and then list the individuals in the sample below. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to take our value, which is our seed, 58, in our calculator, and then we're going to hit the store button and then RAND. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and then put in the number 58. We're going to hit the store button, and then we're going to math and then go all the way to probability and then select the first one and then press enter. So now we've set the seed. Okay, and then what we want to do is then we're going to take RAND INT, and our class size is going to go from 1 to 30, and it's saying that we want to obtain a simple random sample of size 5, which means that we want to be able to get 5 from that list of 1 through 30. So then I'm going to go in here and select math, go back to probability, and then scroll all the way down to number 5. And then I'm going to put in 1 through 30 because, again, that's how many students are in our class. And then we want to pick 5 from that, so I'm going to put 5. And then I'm going to close the parentheses, and then I'm going to hit enter. And therefore, it's going to say that I have 8. And let me copy this. So here is your list of the numbers. So we can say it's going to be the 8th student is picked, the 20th student is picked, the 3rd student, the 7th student, and 25th. So basically what it's saying there is that those are the numbers. If they're associated with each individual student, that's how we're randomly picking 5 students out of the 30.